The night was cold on the quiet farming world of New Terra. The wind howled through the open fields, shaking the old wooden barn near the edge of the Mercer farm. Inside the farmhouse, Eli Mercer, a tall, gruff man with gray in his beard, sat by the fire. He sipped his strong tea and stared at the empty chair across from him. It had been 5 years since he lost his wife and son during the last Salvax War. Since then, Lee lived alone, just him, the land, and the silence. Suddenly there was a knock. Eli frowned. No one ever came this far out, grabbed his old rifle and walked to the back door. The knock came again soft this time, almost like a whisper. He opened the door. Standing there in the rain was a small alien girl. Her skin was soft gray, her violet eyes wide with fear. She looked no older than 10. Beside her stood a younger boy, shivering, holding onto her hand. The girl looked up at him. Her voice shook. "My mom can clean and cook, please, human. Just give us shelter," she whispered. Eli blinked. For a moment, he thought he was dreaming. Then he saw the desperation in her eyes. The boy's lips were blue from the cold. "Who are you?" Eli asked, lowering his rifle just a little. "My name is Lyra. This is my brother Tano," she said quietly. "We don't want trouble. We're just tired. My mom is sick. She's hiding near the trees, please." Eli looked past them into the darkness. Didn't see anyone else. He sighed. "One night," he said. "Just one." The children followed him inside. He gave them towels, dry clothes, and a warm spot by the fire. They didn't speak much. They just sat close, holding each other. After a while, Eli asked, "Where's your mother?" Lyra pointed toward the woods. "She's too weak to walk." Looked at her, then at the boy. He saw bones under their skin. They hadn't eaten well in days. He stood up. "Stay here. We'll get her." Eli put on his coat and stepped into the rain. It took him 15 minutes to find the mother. She was lying under a large tree, breathing heavily. She was older, but still had a quiet beauty. Her gray skin was paler than the children's, and her body shook with every breath. Eli knelt beside her. "Your kids are safe. Come on, I'll carry you." She looked at him with tired eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. He carried her back to the house. She was light as a feather. Inside, Lyra helped her mother sit near the fire. Eli brought them soup and bread. The children ate fast. Mother ate slowly. "My name is Selena," she said softly. "We're Drelloni." Eli nodded. He had heard of the Drelloni. They were a peaceful, race-gentle, smart, good with nature. Their homeworld had been destroyed during the war. Most survivors went missing or were hunted down by bounty ships. "Why?" "Here?" he asked. "We were told humans might help," Selena said. "Some of your kind are kind, others not so much." Eli said nothing. He stared into the fire. Memories of his son came back. The boy had liked aliens. He used to say, "We're all the same inside, Dad." Later that night, Lyra stood in the kitchen, cleaning dishes. She wasn't very good at it, but she tried. Tano fell asleep with a blanket around him, still smiling from the warm soup. Selena coughed quietly in the corner. Eli watched them. "You can stay in the guest room," he said. "Just for a few days, until your mother gets better." Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, human." Eli nodded. He didn't smile, but he felt something deep in his chest. It had been cold there for a long time. The next morning, the sun rose bright over the golden fields. Eli woke early as usual and went outside to feed the livestock. He expected the aliens to sleep in, but when he returned, Lyra was sweeping the porch, and Tano was giving water to the goats. Selena, though still weak, had made a warm breakfast using leftover potatoes, herbs, and something strange from a pouch in her coat. Eli took one bite and blinked. It was delicious. "This is good," he said. Selena smiled weakly. "A mix from our world, simple but filling." Over the next few days, the Mercer farm changed. The air wasn't so heavy anymore. The house didn't feel so empty. Laughter returned, soft and unsure at first, then stronger. Tano started calling. "Eli, Uncle Eli." Lyra cleaned the house top to bottom. Selena showed Eli a new way to grow vegetables faster using simple Drilloni tricks. For a moment, it felt like a family, but trouble was coming. That evening, Eli's old neighbor Harlan came by. "Who are those? Gray-skinned kids on your porch?" he asked, frowning. "You hiding aliens now?" Lee didn't answer. Harlan shook his head. "You know the patrol's been looking for Drilloni survivors. There's a reward. They're just kids," Eli said. "Doesn't matter. Rules are rules." Harlan left with a scowl. Eli closed the door slowly. He looked at the three Drilloni. Sitting by the fire, Lyra was braiding Tano's hair. Selena was peeling vegetables. They all looked up at him. "We'll leave if we must," Selena said. "We don't want to bring danger." Eli looked out the window toward the darkening sky. "No," he said. "You're not going anywhere." Days passed. The Mercer farmhouse, once quiet and still, now echoed with voices, footsteps, and soft laughter. "Ah, yes." For the first time in years, Eli Mercer wasn't alone. The Drilloni family, Selena, her daughter Lyra, and little Tana had become part of the daily life on the farm. Eli never thought he would live with aliens. But each day they proved themselves more and more. Selena still coughed at night, but she was stronger now. She worked in the kitchen, cooking meals that were strange, but tasty. Her long, gentle fingers moved with grace as she cut vegetables or mixed herbs. Lyra helped clean the entire house, windows, floors, even Eli's old dusty attic. Tano followed Eli around outside, asking endless questions about goats, tools, and crops. Eli didn't smile much. But when Tano called him Uncle Eli, he felt something warm. One morning, Eli taught Tano how to fix a broken fence. The boy listened carefully. "You're good with your hands," Eli said. Tano beamed. "You're a good teacher." Lyra was different from most kids Eli had seen. She was quiet but clever. She watched everything. One evening, she even fixed the old kitchen sink using spare parts and something shiny from her Drilloni pouch. "Where'd you learn that?" Eli asked. Lyra shrugged. "Back home. We had to fix things ourselves. We didn't have much after the war." Eli said nothing, but he was impressed. Still, trouble brewed in the nearby village. The locals had started whispering. They saw strange figures in Eli's field. They heard rumors from Harlan, the neighbor. Eli's keeping aliens. People said Drilloni, illegal refugees. Some feared them. Others hated them. The Galactic Patrol, a force sent to hunt runaway species, had begun flying closer over the farms. One afternoon, a patrol ship landed on the main road near the village. Two tall officers in silver armor walked into the general store and started asking questions. "Anyone seen Drilloni survivors?" one of them asked. "No aliens allowed outside the refugee zones," said the other. Back at the farm, Eli saw the ship from a distance. He stood on his porch, arms crossed. That night over dinner, Eli warned the family. "They're coming closer, looking for people like you." Selena sighed. "We knew this day would come. If you want us to leave." "No," Eli interrupted. "You saved my home. I won't let them take you." "But if they find us here," Lyra said, "they'll arrest you too." "I've lived through worse," Eli said quietly. "I lost my family to war. I won't lose this one to fear." Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "You think of us as family?" Eli looked away. "Maybe I do." Later that night, Eli sat in the barn, thinking. He remembered his son's voice, full of hope. "Aliens aren't monsters, Dad. Maybe they're just scared." The next morning, Selena walked slowly into the field, holding a strange silver seed in her hand. "What's that?" Eli asked. "It's called a life seed," she said. "From our home world, it can grow food in dead soil. Only a few are left." She planted it near the edge of the garden. Within minutes, green vines pushed through the dirt. Blue fruit began to bloom. Eli stared. "You could feed a whole planet with that. It's why they hunt us," Selena said. "Not because we're dangerous, but because we're useful." Lyra walked over, holding a metal disc. "We also have biolights. They heal injuries. We hide them. But Tano used one yesterday when he cut his hand." Eli stiffened. Did anyone see? I don't know, she said. I hope not. Someone did. Harlan had been watching through binoculars. That afternoon, he sent a message to the Galactic Patrol that evening. While Eli and Lyra were checking the goats, they heard the sound of engines, loud and close. 3 patrol ships landed. At the edge of Eli's field, silver-armored officers marched out, their boots crushing crops. Eli stood in front of them. Stay back, he told Lyra. Take your brother and mother inside. Don't speak. The lead officer stepped forward. Eli Mercer, we have reports. Of alien fugitives on your property? I don't know what you're talking about, Eli said flatly. We will search your home. You'll need a warrant. The officer smiled coldly. Under galactic emergency law, we don't need one. They pushed past him. Inside, Selena stood calmly in the kitchen. Lyra and Tano sat on the couch, pretending to read human books. Everything looked quiet, normal. The officers walked through the rooms. They scanned the walls, floors, and even opened drawers. Clear, one of them said. Another looked at Selena. What's your species? I'm Terranash hybrid, she lied, her voice steady. My husband was human. I've lived here for years. The officer narrowed his eyes. You don't look fully human. Some of us don't, Eli said, stepping in. Doesn't mean they're criminals. After 2 hours, the officers left. But one of them lingered. He leaned close to Eli. If we find out you're lying, Mercer, you'll be arrested. Harboring fugitives is a serious crime. Eli didn't flinch. I'm not afraid of uniforms. They left in their ships. The silence after was heavy. That night, Selena sat on the porch, coughing into her sleeve. You shouldn't have risked everything for us, she said. I didn't risk it. Eli said. I chose it. Why? He looked up at the stars. Because 5 years ago, I lost my wife and son. I couldn't protect them, failed them. But this time, I won't fail again. Lyra stood behind them, listening quietly. She walked up and placed something in Eli's hand. It was a small stone, smooth and warm. It's called a memory stone, she said. It stores feelings. Hold it when you miss your family. Helps. Eli stared at it and then nodded. You 3 stay hidden for now, he said. I'll talk to someone I trust. Maybe there's another way. Who? Lyra asked. An old war friend, Commander Reed. He owes me. Stepped inside to send a secure message. The Drelloni watched him with hope in their eyes. For the first time since their planet burned, someone was standing up for them, and they were ready to protect. Him tune, no matter what came next. The days after the patrol visit were tense. Eli kept looking to the skies, expecting ships to return. Lyra, Tano, and Selena stayed inside most of the time. The happy sounds from the farmhouse were gone. Only whispers remained. Eli worked hard. During the day, he fixed fences, checked crops, and cleaned tools. But his mind was always somewhere else. One evening, after dinner, Eli sat at the table with a serious face. They'll come back, he said. Next time, they won't just look. They'll take. Selena nodded. We know. I sent a message to Commander Reed. He hasn't answered yet, but if he does, he might be able to help. Worried, what if they find out we're here before that? Eli didn't answer right away. Then he said, then we fight. Selena raised her hand. We are not warriors, Eli. Our people don't believe in violence. I do, Eli said quietly. And I'll protect you. Selena looked down. Maybe it's time you knew something. Stood and walked slowly to the back room. When she returned, she held a small wooden box. She placed it on the table and opened it. Inside were 3 glowing pods, a strange bracelet, and a small glass vial filled with silver liquid. These are part of our past, Selena said. Before the war, our people were genetic healers. We worked with plants, skin, bones, life itself. She held up one of the pods. This seed can grow into a full healing tree in a few hours. Its fruit cures sickness. She pointed to the vial. This is blood from the heartroot vine. A single drop can repair broken nerves. Eli stared at the items. You've been carrying this all this time? Selena nodded. We were not running only for safety. We were carrying the last hope of our kind. That's why the patrol wants us. That's why they destroyed our world, Lyra added. They wanted to force our scientists to make soldiers bioweapons. My father refused. So they bombed our cities. Felt rage rise in his chest. And now they want to finish the job. Yes, Selena said softly. Eli stood up. Come with me. He took them to the greenhouse behind the barn. It was old and dusty, but still strong. He cleared out a space under the wooden floor and carefully helped Selena bury the box. No one will find it here, he said. Not unless they burn everything down. Lyra looked at Eli. Why are you helping us so much? Eli looked at her with tired eyes. Because you remind me of my son. He believed in peace. In kindness. He would have helped you too. Tano, who had been quiet, hugged Eli's leg. You're like a papa. Eli's eyes softened. And you're like the boy I never got to raise. The next day, while Eli checked the fences, Lyra and Tano played with the goats. The air felt lighter for a moment, until the sound came. A scream. Eli dropped his tool and ran. He found Tano. Holding his arm, blood dripping from a deep cut. One of the goats had kicked a broken nail into his skin. Lyra panicked, bleeding bad. Without thinking, she pulled the BioLite device from her pouch. It glowed softly as she pressed it to Tano's wound. In seconds, the cut sealed. The blood stopped. The skin closed. But they didn't see the small drone floating above the trees. It had recorded everything that night. In a hidden military post outside the village, the patrol commander watched the drone footage. He leaned back in his chair. Found them. He smiled. Prepare the raid. Tomorrow morning. No more games. Back on the farm, Eli finally received a message. The old radio buzzed and cracked. Then came a voice. Eli, this is Reed. Got your message. Sending help. 2 days out, Eli sighed in relief. But then his heart sank. 2 days. Would they make it? He gathered the family. Reed's coming. But we need to prepare, Lyra said. We can hide. Eli shook his head. That didn't work last time. We need to defend this place. He went to the barn and pulled open an old trunk. Inside were weapons rusted but ready. His old battle gear, a blaster, a shock rifle, smoke grenades. Selena looked nervous. We don't want death. I'll only shoot if I have to, Eli said. But we're not running, gave Lyra a smoke bomb. You'll use this too. Blind them if they come too close. He gave Tano a whistle. If anything happens to me, you blow this. Don't stop. Someone will hear you. Selena held his hand. You've already done too much. Eli looked at her. Gave me a reason to live again. That's worth fighting for. That night, no one slept. The farmhouse lights were off. The windows were boarded up. The greenhouse trapdoor was locked. Eli sat by the front door with his rifle across his lap. Then, before dawn, it began. 3 patrol ships landed outside the field. Searchlights lit up the house. Officers shouted through speakers. Eli Mercer, open the door. Surrender the aliens? Eli answered by firing a warning shot into the air. You're not taking them? He shouted. The officers rushed in. Smoke bombs exploded. Blinding gas filled the front yard. Inside, Lyra held her brother close. Selena stood near the back door. With a kitchen knife ready to protect her children, Eli took cover behind a tractor and shot at the patrol. One officer was hit in the leg and fell, but more kept coming. They kicked down the front door. Selena screamed. Then suddenly, the vines in the greenhouse burst through the walls, strong, fast, and alive. Selena had used one of the pods. The healing tree grew wildly, spreading across the yard. Wrapping around the patrol's legs and pulling them down, the Droloni seeds had answered their call by morning. The patrol was retreating, vines covering their ships, weapons torn from their hands. One officer shouted, "Call the fleet. Call. Reinforcements." But then a new sound filled the sky. A large ship descended, black, sleek. Marked with the Earth flag, Commander Reed stepped out with soldiers in clean white armor. "Stand down," he ordered the patrol. "You attacked without approval. They're fugitives." The patrol captain shouted. "They're refugees," Reed replied. "And this land is protected." He turned to Eli. "Nice work, old friend." Eli nodded. "Told you it was serious." The afternoon, the soldiers had taken the patrol into custody. Reed stood with Selena and her children, watching the cleanup. "You're safe for now," he said. "But things will get harder. Are you ready?" Selena looked at her children, then at Eli. "We're not running anymore." The days after Commander Reed's arrival were a mix of hope and tension. Eli felt safer with the soldiers nearby. The patrol that attacked them was now under arrest, but the neighbors' fear did not fade. Some still looked at the Drilloni family. With suspicion, Eli worked hard to repair the damage from the fight. The greenhouse was battered but standing. Thanks to Selena's quick planting of the healing pods, Selena grew stronger by the day. Her cough was less frequent, and her eyes shone with a new light. Lyra and Tano helped her regain strength while also learning from Commander Reed's soldiers about human weapons and strategy. One evening, as the sun began to set behind the golden fields, a group of villagers gathered near the edge of Eli's land. They whispered angrily. Some carried torches. Harlan stood at the front, his face hard. "We can't have aliens living here," he said. "They bring danger. We have to drive them away." Others nodded. Eli heard about the meeting from a soldier. "They're planning something," the soldier warned. That night, Eli gathered Selena and the children inside. "We have to be ready," he said. "They might try to burn the fields." Selena looked worried. "If they destroy the crops, we'll lose everything." Lyra clenched her fists. "We can't let them." At dawn, Eli saw smoke rising in the distance. "Fire," he said. Started. He grabbed his rifle and ran toward the fields. When he arrived, the sight was worse than he imagined. Flames licked the dry grass and crept toward the greenhouse. The villagers stood watching, torches in hand, faces twisted with anger. "Stop!" Eli shouted. "This isn't the way." Harlan laughed. "They're aliens. They don't belong here." Eli fired a warning shot. "Go home or I'll make you." The villagers hesitated, but the fire spread fast. Suddenly, the ground around the greenhouse began to glow. From the soil, thick vines burst up and grew at incredible speed. They twisted and wrapped around the fire, blocking it like a living wall. The villagers gasped. Selena appeared, standing tall despite her weakness. Her hands moved in slow, smooth motions, as if she was talking to the plants. The vines grew stronger, pushing the flames back. Eli watched, amazed. "This is your power?" he asked her. Selena nodded. "The life seeds hold the strength of our people. They protect us." Lyra and Tano joined her, helping the vines cover the fields. The fire died quickly, smothered by the green wall. The villagers looked on, stunned. Harlan took a step back. "Witchcraft," he muttered. Eli stepped forward. "No, this is survival." Day changed everything. The villagers began to see the Drellani in a new light. Not just strangers, but protectors of the land. But the peace did not last long. That night, loud explosions shook the farm. Eli ran outside and saw smoke rising from the barn. Someone had set fire to it. He grabbed a bucket of water and rushed in, but the fire spread fast. Lyra screamed. The greenhouse. Selena, weak but determined, moved quickly to the greenhouse entrance. She pulled out one of the glowing pods from her pouch. "I'll protect this place," she said. She pressed the pod into the ground. The greenhouse shook. As a dome of vines and leaves grew, covering it completely, the fire burned around the dome but could not touch the plants inside. Eli pulled Lyra and Tano back. "Get inside," he shouted. They ran to the farmhouse, safe for now. The barn burned through the night. Smoke dark against the stars. The next morning, Eli surveyed the damage. The barn was gone, but the greenhouse, hidden under Selena's dome, was unharmed. Selena's. The face was pale, but peaceful. "You saved the last of our hope," Eli said softly. She smiled. "And you gave us a chance." Lyra looked at Eli. "We want to fight. Not with weapons, but to protect." Eli nodded. "Then we train." Commander Reed arrived with more soldiers and supplies. He looked at the farm and said, "This place will be a refuge, a safe zone." Eli smiled for the first time in years. Weeks passed. Lyra learned how to use a blaster. Tano practiced with a shield. Selena taught Eli how to grow the life seeds faster. The farm became a symbol of hope. One night, as the family sat under the stars, Lyra said softly, "We came asking for shelter. You gave us a home." Eli looked at them. "You gave me a family." They smiled, ready for whatever came next. The sun rose bright over the Mercer farm, painting the fields gold. The farm was alive again. Green shoots pushed through the soil, goats wandered peacefully, and laughter filled the house. But beneath the calm, Eli knew the fight was far from over. The Galactic Council, the powerful rulers of many star systems, had sent new envoys to investigate the Drelloni presence on New Terra. Some members wanted the refugees removed. Others believed in mercy. Eli, Selena, Lyra, and Tano had become more than survivors. They were symbols. Symbols of hope, of peace, and of human kindness. One morning, as Eli worked, repairing the fence, a sleek shuttle landed near the farmhouse. Out stepped two suited envoys, serious and calm. "We are here from the Galactic Council," one said. "We have heard of your farm and your Drelloni guests." Eli wiped his hands on his shirt. "We're just farmers trying to live." The envoy smiled slightly. "Your farm has become a beacon. Many species watch it. They want to know if humans can protect refugees peacefully." Lyra stepped forward, holding a small glowing fruit from the life seed tree. "This is proof," she said softly. "We heal, we help. We don't fight unless we must." The envoys listened carefully as Selena explained their story at the destruction of their homeworld, their refusal to create weapons, and their search for safety. Eli watched them closely. He saw doubt in their eyes, but also respect. That evening, the envoys called a meeting with the local leaders and some villagers. Eli stood beside Selena and Lyra as they told their story in simple words. Many villagers nodded, moved by the truth. Harlan, the stubborn neighbor, stood silent but did not argue. The council envoys declared that the Drelloni would be granted conditional Earth colony citizenship. It was a victory, but Eli knew it came with new challenges. Days later, as the sun set, Eli sat on the porch with Lyra. She was no longer a scared girl, but a strong young woman. "I want to help more," she said. "Learn human science and teach our ways." Eli smiled. "You'll make a good leader." Tano joined them, holding a new tool he had built from spare parts. "Uncle Eli, look, it works." Eli ruffled his hair. "I'm proud of you, little engineer." Inside, Selena prepared a meal, her hands steady and sure. The kitchen smelled of spices and fresh herbs. She looked out the window at the green fields. "We came asking for shelter," she said softly, and found a home. But peace was fragile. One night, an alert came from the farm's sensors. Ships large and armed were approaching fast. The Galactic Council's rivals, the Zarkon Empire, had learned about the Drelloni sanctuary and wanted to destroy it. Eli gathered everyone. "This is not just our fight," he said. "It's a fight for all who seek safety." Selena nodded. "Our seeds will protect the land. Your weapons will protect us." Lyra loaded her blaster. Tano checked the shields. Commander Reed and his soldiers arrived just in time. The battle was fierce. The Zarkon ships fired, but the life seed vines grew fast. Wrapping around the enemy vessels, Eli and Reed led the ground defense. Using old tactics and new hope, Lyra coordinated the biotech with human weapons, creating a strong defense. After hours, the enemy retreated, defeated. The battle left scars. But it also brought something new, a bond between species. The Galactic Council arrived with support and promises of aid. Eli looked at his family alien, and human together, and smiled. We built this home. We fought for it. Lyra nodded. And we will protect it, no matter what. Selena joined their hands. Home is where we fight for it. Years passed. The Mercer farm became a sanctuary for many refugees. Lyra studied to become a biotechnician, blending Drelloni and human science. Tano became an engineer, building tools to help others. Eli taught new generations the meaning of kindness and courage, and every night, under the stars, they remembered how a scared alien girl whispered for shelter and found a family.